last night we had the town halls. Joe Biden having the town hall that was supposed to be the replacement for the debate that he wanted to have, but Donald Trump ran away from. And Donald Trump getting one because he didn't want to have to actually debate Joe Biden. And NBC News said, that's fine, we'll give you whatever you want. It didn't necessarily end that way, but that was the beginning. We're gonna walk through a couple different aspects of that debate. I want to start off with one that just enraged me, that has an interesting ending. But this is a moment that might have stood out for you if you were watching Donald Trump's town hall.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
I have to say, you have a great smile.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, he does. You're so handsome when you smile. Okay.
That's how Donald Trump flirts. And the next line is always, is your granddaughter single?
Totally. I guess, is this good because it shows that NBC isn't like throttling every individual and making them only say an exact scripted thing? Is this a good sign? Or is it just, why is a woman complimenting the president's smile in a town hall? And why is that a thing?
And like getting excited, like she's here for it. She's here for it, and he is handsome when he smiles. I'm not gonna object to a provable fact. He's gorgeous. And it's something about his eyes when he smiles, and how it really brings this skin together to reveal just how much of this has no makeup on it. Like you can see his eyelids, and then the rest is this gorgeous orange sheen. Mm-hmm. He looks, he looks like Jupiter.
The hottest of the planets, I would say,
not the god.
Exactly. So anyway, look, it was weird. It made him happy. I don't want him to be happy because he's a terrible guy doing terrible things and trying to get people killed. Here's the interesting thing though. When that happened, a lot of people's response was, wait, she was introduced as leaning Biden, and yet she's complimenting Trump. That's weird. Are they lying about where these people are leaning? And perhaps not, because a little bit more research was done afterward. And she apparently said, she was interviewed afterward. This is Paulette Dale, registered Republican, who's leaning towards Joe Biden, said, I wish he would smile more and talk less. Asked to elaborate, she said the president steps in it every time he opens his mouth. I think the man has a nice smile. However, I'm not a fan.
Yes, I think tons of people have a nice smile who also shouldn't be president of the United States. I love Kanye's music.
Yeah, I'm not there necessarily. Yeah, it's just, I get it, it's fine. And look, it shows that, there's nothing we value more and the right values less than being able to hold seemingly contradictory thoughts that are both reflections of reality from your point of view. That's fine. It's just weird when like, this is the one moment where you're exposed to the country, and the part that comes across is, I think the president's kind of hot, not he needs to stop talking because he says crazy things. I guess that was being demonstrated in the town hall anyway. Maybe she didn't, maybe Paulette Dale didn't need to point that out when Savannah Guthrie was doing a pretty good job of doing it anyway.
Frequently, I don't think I'm in a movie where people's names are like so perfect, but Paulette Dale is absolutely that woman's name, to the point where it seems like, it is stranger than fiction. And I like anchoring Trump, like that's what an age appropriate romance would be between Trump and a woman. Like that's an age appropriate romance. And I think, in the depths of a focus group, no one should do is that analysis where, the 215,000 people are dead from COVID. But let's talk about Trump as a sexual object.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what people do, and that moment right there really does essentialize everything about town halls and debates. That and the woman behind Trump nodding. There was a woman behind Trump nodding in the blurry distance. That is the Mike Pence's fly of this debate. That is the 5 o'clock shadow of this town hall. That is the 5 o'clock shadow of Nixon. It's just some little thing that had nothing to do with politics. That despite everyone who is trying to orchestrate political discourse in a way that benefits people, the way politics is supposed to benefit people, everything just broke down because they were like, "Oh, Paulette's got a crush."
Yeah, I guess. And look, the people organizing it never could have known. Yeah, no, you're undoubtedly right. Although I don't think that this is going to dominate the discourse like the Fly did. I don't think Joe Biden's going to be, or that Jim Carrey's going to be playing Paulette Dale on SNL this weekend.
Might be.
But you're right. It is a distraction, and honestly, I'm probably contributing to that. I honestly don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
But John, like
that sorts of conversations.
This is the first thing you cover, and and honestly, we had a morning meeting.
Well,
and it's
Friday,
really hard to find. Oh, 100%. But like, you're not the only person talking about this. This was number one on the cheat sheet on the Daily Beast. This was also or number one or number three. Right. The other one was the woman nodding in the back. Like that's the Daily Beast top thing when they're not selling awesome cutlery. But yeah, that's This is exactly it, man. Like in the debate
for why though. Beyond that, because you're right. We totally line up. We agree about that. But also, I think part of it is a feeling that covering the more substantive parts about COVID or whatever feels less likely to accomplish anything than covering this. Like in any other political context, it would seem like a focus on how did he respond to the questions about mask wearing, his lack of leadership. That's more substantive, it's more consequential, people's lives are on the line. But he's never, ever, ever going to learn, so what's the point? It almost feels like that. And we're gonna talk about that stuff. We can transition right now if you want, but it feels like in a time when it doesn't seem to matter what you cover because he won't change and his base won't change. I don't know, why not have a little bit of fun with it, maybe. And maybe that's being part of the problem. I honestly don't know. I'm literally losing my mind every day doing this show.
Well, those are just overlapping things. You want to have fun with it, but that's incidental because that just incidentally puts you in line with other people who everything else is so ethereal. This is like boy likes girl. Girl says boy has nice smile. Like that's really what it comes down to. That's the accessibility of it all. And I will point out, like I remember we had like this back and forth during the debate when Pence had a fly on his head. And I can take you through every single one of those debate moments that had absolutely nothing to do with policy that dominated the debates. Mike Dukakis is on a box or noticeably smaller than George Bush. Like that's that. They look different. George Bush reacts like this when Al Gore tries to come over and intimidate him physically. That's what people remembered. The 5 o'clock shadow moment. It had nothing to do with when Rick Perry says, oops. Donald Trump cracking jokes at 17 people running against him, and the laughter is what people remembered. And that is, in line with what a lot of us always go to. We don't even know if it's true anymore that the taller person wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like we are basically primitive humans 100,000 years ago trying to make sense of the storm. Basically, we're just trying to find something that might be true. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.